What's up, everyone, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for Big Brother, Season 16, Episode 27. I'm your host, Dom. With me, I have my co-hosts, Erika and Luke.
Welcome to Big Brother.
How's it going, guys?
Pretty good day so far. Had a little roughness at work, but other than that, it went by faster than I expected.
Did it go by as fast as the Ice Bucket Challenge that you completed?
Pretty much, yeah, if you want to put it that way. And yeah, everybody who hasn't seen my Ice Bucket Challenge, maybe I'll tweet it at some point. But yeah, you're welcome to look at it on Facebook if you have my Facebook as well. But everybody thought it was unfair. There was some controversy because I didn't use a big enough bucket, which I'm like, it doesn't matter. I did it.
I would love to see some kind of contest in the house where they had to, the losers or winners or something that involved the Ice Bucket Challenge, and like,
Yeah, but
I think it'd be amazing.
But in all honesty, though, that would be a good idea. But remember, the have-nots the ones that were have-nots all summer had to sleep in that ice-cold room and had to take ice-cold showers.
That's true.
So they basically got a taste of it.
Yeah, they've been doing the Ice Bucket Challenge the whole season, I guess, right?
Yeah, I guess you could put it that way as an example. What do you think, Erika?
I don't know. I think if they were going to do something like that, it would have been in the Battle of the Block where they dump stuff on the loser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See that. I'd like to see it at the finale and just have everybody do it on finale night.
That would be awesome. Imagine if instead of confetti coming down on the... No. Confetti comes down on the winner, the runner-up gets the ice bucket.
That would be good.
That would be awesome.
That would be good. So, this week, Nicole's back. She's in the house. She's already scheming with Donnie. She doesn't trust anybody else in the house. Do you think she made the right move of clinging to Donnie, or do you think she should have went right to the big group that she knew existed and tried to work with them instead?
I think she would have worked with I think that she should have went to the detonators and tried to work with them, because aligning with Donnie is only going to put a bigger target on her back, because this week Donnie is the number one target that everybody's scheming to get out, and this week Cody won the first solo HOH, so now he's put up Nicole. Like, Nicole's not his main target. They didn't necessarily say this during the episode, but I think Nicole is a pawn, and Donnie's the head target that they're trying to get out. But I have a funny feeling that if Cody were to win the veto this week, he's not going to use it, because he's going to keep his nominations the same to get Donnie out of the house. Because, like I said, Donnie's the number one target. And that's my opinion.
Well, we already know all this stuff because somebody was kind enough to spoil it on Luke's post a few days ago.
Yeah, which I'm not happy about, and I distinctly told him not to do it. I don't want any more spoilers. I mean, come on. I know you're excited as the show as we are, but
when it was that detailed, I was like, something's not right here. So I went and checked, and yeah, point for point exactly. I was like, thanks for spoiling it.
Yeah, I intentionally didn't read any of the comments, and I don't do that for that reason.
So the nominations do stay the same.
Well, I don't know. Because when I checked the spoiler board, it was before Monday.
Oh, okay.
So, because I didn't want to see the veto.
Well, the veto was yesterday, and the veto meeting was today, technically.
Monday.
The veto meeting was Monday.
Yeah, the competition is Saturday. The meeting is Monday.
Right.
And then they have Monday to Thursday to hash out who's on the block and who's going home and all that.
Right. So, what did you guys think of the competition?
I actually liked it looked pretty easy to do, the boxing and stuff like that. And you know what? There's something that you pointed out too, Dom. Remember how you say half of the time you don't even know these people exist in the house?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's exactly what Victoria pointed out. She's like, who the hell remembers Joey? It's
right.
It's obvious that I would get a question wrong about Joey. Who the hell remembers Joey? Or Alex?
I remember both.
I remember them, but Joey was the first one evicted, so she didn't have much time in the house. She was evicted on, what, day 12 or day 15?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even know.
It was somewhere in between those. I remember that.
What the real shame is Joe is the first one out, but yet her and Victoria pretty much the same as far as their impact in the house and how memorable they are.
How do you think Nicole feels losing to Victoria in that competition?
Pissed.
That competition, that was more of a luck thing, because you really don't. I know from previous house guests and from watching the stuff, you really don't remember exactly what day.
Like they said, they don't even know what day it was in the house at the time.
Right.
No. Nicole didn't remember what day it was because she just got back into the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, Nicole didn't. I'm sure not everybody in the house knew what day it was. Like, it's something you really have to keep track of where you're going to lose it. Like, so you could kind of guess, what the head of household competition is on this day in 1 week. It's 7 days, and you could kind of get an idea, but you're never going to know exactly. There's nobody in the history of Big Brother that will nail that competition 100%. Like, just go in there and get that number, punch out, boom, you're done. Go in, hit the number, boom. Nobody will ever do that. Ever.
Well, yeah. Isn't it also a rule that they can't have even a paper calendar in the house?
Well, here's the thing. I don't want to say never ever, because what if you get one of those people with those super exceptional memories that you see in those TV shows? They're like super rare instances that remember everything and can recall any date and what they had for breakfast and whatever on that date and what day of the week. And there's some people, so I don't want to actually go and say never, even though I did. So I take that back.
That would be a strategy of the game to keep the memory.
Yeah,
that used to be the case where they weren't told what day it was, they weren't told what time it was.
Right.
But now they're told like every day. It's Tuesday. It's day whatever. It's 8:30 in the morning.
Right.
They have all this stuff, and they know when the After Dark cameras kick on that it's whatever time, because they Big Brother tells them before the cameras kick on.
Right.
And all that stuff. So
you probably hear that PA system 24 hours a day in the Big Brother house. Like they'll make pre-recorded comments like, "You are not allowed to discuss your diary room sessions with other house guests.
Right.
Please stop singing."
Yeah, Victoria. I just recently watched an episode of After Dark, like a piece of it. I didn't watch like the whole thing. I was at one of my friends' houses, and his father was watching it. And Victoria has something wrong now with her tonsils or wisdom teeth or something. They're coming in, and her throat like closed up, and she can't talk and all this stuff. And then she starts telling them that the doctor wasn't there, and she doesn't know if they're going to see the doctor. And then they start yelling at Victoria, "You can't discuss your diary room sessions." And I was like, okay.
They're yelling at her?
Yeah, she can't discuss whether or not the medic is coming, or like. Yeah,
but didn't she didn't say anything in the diary room about her tonsils, did she?
Not this week.
No,
it'll be coming up. I'm sure you'll see it in probably Tuesday. Or,
so is the recording Is the recording like yelling at her or something?
No, it's just Victoria. At first, you cannot discuss your diary room sessions with the house guests.
Right.
If they keep ignoring that, then.
And then she said it again, and he said it again in a very firm voice, and she tried to interrupt him, and she was like, okay, and he just kept talking right over her. No, they can.
They can't. Oh, they can?
Yeah.
Because if you talk into the microphone, the producers can hear the tiny microphone where.
Yeah. And they actually have one. They actually have one, if you just keep going, they actually have a pre-recorded thing that goes, "Hey! Stop that!"
They do?
I've actually seen them do that before, because they just kept going, "You are not allowed to discuss your diary room sessions with other house guests. Victoria, you are not allowed to discuss keep going." They just blast it max volume through the entire house. "Hey!"
That's amazing.
And everybody, they showed it cut to everybody. Everybody just kind of stopped and jumped, because people in other rooms, they don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Exactly. What exactly? Was that an episode of this year or a couple of years ago?
That was last year. That was last year that happened.
You remember who
it was? It was on the live feed, so it wasn't actually on the show.
Right.
But it wasn't on After Dark?
That's pretty cool.
No, it was on the live feeds.
I wonder who they were yelling at. That's what I'd like to know now.
I don't know.
Probably Amanda.
It was funny, though, because it was constant thing of don't do that, don't do that. Hey, stop doing that.
And then they
Yeah,
scream at him. That's great.
yeah.
That's great. Yeah,
And it
so
wasn't like a pre-recorded thing. It was like one of the producers or camera guys or whatever actually clicked in on the microphone and just yelled at him.
that's amazing.
Was it one of the cameramen?
Well, people behind the scenes that are actually running the stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, Nicole and Donnie both tried to persuade Cody after winning the competition to try to keep him in the house, and the points that they brought up, they're pretty logical. Like Cody is not gonna ride to the final 3.
Well, yeah. I mean, Nicole said you have to think about your game now because Donnie even said when he woke him up at 2 a.m, he just randomly walked into Cody's HOH room and woke him up and said, you know what, it's time to play Big Brother. You got to think about your game now. Eventually, you're going to have to turn on the detonators. The detonators have to turn on each other at some point. We're getting to the end.
Yeah. So when you get to the point, all right. So let's say they get Donnie out this week. Next week they get Nicole out, right? They don't want to get Victoria out. They don't, because Victoria is a dead vote. Like, she's not going to win any competitions. Nobody's going to vote for her to win. Maybe Jocasta, but, she's not going to get majority vote in the final 3, the final 2, whatever. Victoria's somebody they're going to take to the finale with them, right? So Derek, if he's still in the house, whatever, he's going to want to keep Victoria. And he says he was going to want to keep Cody. He doesn't. Cody's a threat to him. Caleb's a threat to him. Frankie's a threat to him. As soon as Derek gets the chance, Cody, Caleb, and Frankie, they're gone.
Yeah, something I could see those 3 in the final 3.
Who was that? That one they're calling the Hitman. Which one was that?
The Hitman was, I thought it was Derek and Cody.
Okay. It's like, it looks like that's their like actual alliance.
Right.
And they're just kind of stringing along Victoria because this whole compulsion they have every year of, well, they'll never win anything, so we can just kick them out at any time.
Take her to the final 2, because if they vote to keep her in the final 2, it won't cost them the $500,000 grand prize.
I guarantee if I was in a jury and a player like Victoria made it to the finals, I would give them the money.
All right, wait just 1 second. Mom, I'm in the middle of the podcast. I do apologize for a bit of controversy there. My mother was shouting for me from the hall, so I'm sorry.
It's quite all right. So
that could be a pre-recorded thing there. It should say, Lucia, you are not allowed to disturb your son during his Big Brother podcast.
There you go. I know last podcast we mentioned that Frankie's Twitter was hacked. They did get the account back, Ariana and the grandmother. The grandmother actually recorded a video, and that was the post to let everybody know that they got it. It's back under their control.
Oh, good.
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You know what? The stronger players like Cody, Caleb, and Frankie, they're going to be a big threat to Derek at some point in the game. And Christina, she sees them as a threat, I bet, at some point, too, because they're strong players.
Right. Yeah. I still think Derek's going to win this whole thing. Like, you could even see the way he was discussing with Donnie. Like, he out-manipulated Donnie. Like, Derek is so much more intelligent than Donnie is. Right? Because he out-manipulated Donnie to find out if he was lying without Donnie even realizing what he was doing.
Well, who do you want to see win?
Zach.
Zach's gone. That doesn't count.
That's who I want to see win.
He can't. He's gone.
I didn't say it was going to happen, but that's who I want to see win.
Yeah, but I know it doesn't make sense, but who do you want to see win the whole thing?
Zach.
This is funny.
That would be something if they did that.
They didn't delete the tweets that people put up when they took it over.
They did when I looked. Maybe they're still up there, or maybe the replies. but there was the few of them that I saw were deleted. Maybe replies to people were not. But yeah, so he got that back, or they got that back, and I don't know. There's really no surprise that Cody went through and nominated Donnie and Nicole.
It wasn't.
Right.
So,
And we were right. Well, Erika and I pointed this out during one podcast that, after the double HOH twist was over, the Battle of the Block twist was over, I asked, do you really think that during the nomination ceremony they're going to bring the big wheel out and give everybody their key saying, so-and-so, you are safe for the week, I will pull the next key, so on and so forth? I like how they do it now, the digital screen to lock in the votes.
I mean, it saves time, too, because people aren't, like, pulling keys out, and, like that eats up some time on the show, right? Because they still have to do that. That's, like, a 5-minute process. Like, when the house is full, that's, like, a 5-minute process. It saves them a lot of time there to get other things in. And have you ever seen some of the smaller, like, the girls trying to carry that giant wheel to the table? Like, they practically fall over doing it. And this little box is so light, it's much easier and safer for them to do. So I prefer the way that they do it now with the memory wall and all that.
I like it. I like it how it's all digital, the memory wall. Like, the memory wall isn't just blocks, you know what I mean?
Right. And
it's digital.
So we had a couple small little notable things. We had Beast Mode Ninja. What were you guys thinking of?
His moves.
Yeah,
I loved his moves.
Do you believe he's really a black belt?
Wouldn't surprise me.
I'm gonna go with Erika.
Yeah, I 100% think he is.
Yeah, he wasn't like extreme about it. Like, I'm a 9th degree black belt. It was like, I'm 3rd degree. Who's gonna make up something that you're not the absolute best at?
Right. Yeah.
And then the way he was popping those moves and not actually like he was doing those air kicks and actually landing them.
Yeah.
The only time he fell on his butt was when he did the bicycle kick.
Well, the bicycle kick, you're supposed to end up falling anyway. No, I don't. Yeah. I've never seen somebody do a bicycle kick and then land on their feet. Like, maybe in a movie,
did that slow
but yeah,
too.
Yeah. The bicycle kick, I think, is most famous from Mortal Kombat with Liu Kang, right? He just runs up and bicycle kicks the guy's chest, and then he lands on his feet. But that'll never happen in real life. Never. Other thing is, I know today the house was on lockdown. Everybody had to go inside. They were not allowed outside. There were people apparently outside the Big Brother house screaming. And
from over the wall.
Yeah. And I think it was Cody or Derek. Either Cody or Derek, one of them overheard somebody from the crowd say that Frankie is the summer saboteur. So I'm curious how that's going to affect the game, if they're going to believe that, if that's even going to get aired on the show.
Did they make that announcement? Did they make that announcement like they did on Big Brother 8 or Big Brother 10? House guests, please report inside the house. Yeah. We are going to a lockdown.
Yep, they did something like that. I wasn't watching the feed. I overheard it. But yeah, they do something like that. They rush everybody inside. They close them off. They're not allowed back outside until
they shut that drop-down door.
Yep. So,
they have a roller door on the outside that locks everything.
This is kind of a stupid thought, but I wonder what happens during like an emergency or something like that. God forbid, in the studio, like if there was a fire, I wonder like what they would do. Basically, God forbid.
There's escape doors in pretty much every room.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if they do like
backtrack.
Yeah, I'm sure they have an escape room, like a quarantine area, too, for them to run out and go and still keep them isolated and safe at the same time. So I believe they have all that set up.
Yeah. I haven't even noticed any fire alarms in the Big Brother house. Well, I'm sure they are somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure they have sprinklers and stuff. We don't see the ceiling very much, so we don't really know how much fire security is on the ceiling and whatnot.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I remember Big Brother 10, there was the earthquake, and I think everybody had to evacuate.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't remember that. But I didn't watch that season, actually, so. But
plus, with the entire house is covered with video so much that if a fire did break out, they would see it on camera before the detectors went off anyway.
This is true.
Exactly.
This is true, unless it happened somewhere in the production area and they didn't catch that
Yeah.
right away and it spread quicker because it's not in their room or something like that. But yeah. Who would you guys rather see go this week, Donnie or Nicole, if the veto doesn't get used?
It's obvious Donnie's going to go, because if the veto's not used, he's going, because he's the bigger target. So you know what? I wouldn't care if Donnie was gone. You know what I mean? Who do you want? Do you want Donnie to stay?
I didn't want Donnie to leave, but Derek made some very, very good points, and that when him and Frankie came up to him, it was like, I want to do this game, and then Donnie was like, well, I'm here to play Donnie Thompson. I'm not here to play Team America. I'm not here to play your game. All this stuff. And so, Derek made some good points. We're not going to save you because you're not here to play this game. You're here to be yourself.
Well, Derek is essentially playing the same game as Donnie, but Derek just has the numbers. They're playing almost identical game. Donnie doesn't have the social game, but Derek does. But it's identical otherwise.
But you think
if Donnie and Derek ended up as the final two somehow, who do you think would win?
Derek.
Probably Derek.
You don't think everybody would vote
Donnie?
Donnie?
The way jury houses normally react is well, this person was in control the whole season. They were pulling the strings behind everything. We're going to vote for them.
So
yeah, but you also got to look at who they burned, like Hayden. Right? Would Hayden vote for Derek? I don't think he would. Most of
the time, jury members do vote for the person who got them out of the house.
Yeah. No, I know that.
It's weird.
I know that, but I still don't think Hayden would vote Derek. I don't think Jocasta would vote Derek. She might.
It probably wouldn't be a clean sweep.
No, because Danielle from season 14, she voted for Dan and not Ian, because Ian evicted her.
Right. Yeah, some people are bitter by it. But, yeah, I don't know. You guys have anything else you want to throw out there?
Well, as a prediction, who will win the power of veto, and will it be used to save either Nicole or Donnie from the chopping block? It all happens Wednesday at 8, 7 Central on Big Brother.
Donnie's been really good with taking himself off the block, but he can only do it for so long.
He can't last that long.
He's not going to be able to last all the way to the end with it.
He can't.
I think he's either tied or beat the number of times been nominated in a house.
That's amazing.
I think Rachel had it at either 5 or 6. I can't remember which. And he's already at 5 or 6.
Rachel was on the block more than 5 times on season 13.
It might have been 6 then.
Yeah.
I know
in a single house, but
it was like
at her cumulative times on the block from all her appearances,
you don't add multiple seasons together.
It'd be interesting to see that, because there are people who have returned multiple times, and to get an overall record somewhere would be cool too. But yeah, I think that about does it. Erika, where can people find you?
On Twitter at ErikaBrain7.
Excellent. Luke, where can people find you?
On Twitter at Zupa23.
Nice. You can find me down below, Phenomenon, Phenomedom. You can find all of us and more on Twitter, Facebook, Gmail, G+, and right here on YouTube /ASOTV podcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows. And Erika, if you sign up for a free 30-day trial
button. Where's this thing at?
Audible, go to www.offergb.com/SHB, and you get 30-day free trial and an audiobook of your choice from their entire catalog. So that wraps this up until Wednesday night. Catch you guys later.
From outside the Big Brother house, I'm Luke. Good night. Well, my boy.